The aside from that, where to fish. Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were gonna talk a little bit about speed.
Speed, yes.
Fast.
None. No speed.
No speed.
Just as slow as you can keep the boat going and maintain control. Okay.
What is that, 2 to 3 knots, maybe?
Not even that.
About a mile an hour.
Yeah.
8/10 of a
Yeah.
mile per hour.
We're normally, if we've got the seas behind us, on one engine, bumping it in and out of gear. Okay. And if this year we've been fishing on, for whatever reason, we've been fishing a lot of wrecks. I normally don't like wrecks, but that's just what's worked for us, okay? And I don't like them because they have critters on them that want to eat my king mackerel while I'm fighting, okay? Sharks and barracudas and that type of thing are more prevalent on the wrecks usually. And in that case, there's one particular place we've been fishing nearly every tournament this year up north that was in bounds on the east side of Cape Lookout, in 120 feet of water. It's on all the maps. But anyway, it in particular is one place, okay? Those fish live right there, okay? Structure is where the fish live. If you're fishing in the middle of nowhere, you're doing nothing, unless you're coming across a bunch of bait, a big pot of bait you set out in it a while. But you're gonna catch your fish on structure, be it a wreck, be it rock, be it, coral heads, or whatever. Coral attracts fish, the bait fish, big fish are attracted to the bait fish. It's just the way it is. With ledges, it doesn't tend to get as crowded as wrecks do, okay? So this year, talking about speed, we've got one point here that's not very big, and you got 30 boats that want that real estate right there, right over the top of that wreck, because that's where he lives. That's just it. You may catch one out away from it, but 4 out of 5 that are caught are going to be right there close to it, okay? And so in that situation, when I get my turn on that piece of real estate, when I get to it, I'm pulling them completely out of gear. Okay, I want to spend as much time there as I can spend on top of it. Okay, but if you if your prop wash bait starts outrunning the boat and that type of thing, you got to bump it ahead. But the slower the better. We'll actually, especially in rough weather, drift a lot. We'll set up a drift. If we can get all your ledges basically, your structure runs in one direction or another. Okay. In other words, say I've got this a rock that's running straight this way, the ledge. First thing I'm gonna do when I get there, if I'm on a boat that doesn't have that rock mapped out in the plotter on the GPS, when I get there, I'm gonna zigzag up and down it some before I set out. I'm gonna do so quickly, I'm not gonna waste a lot of time doing it. And when I get there, I'm gonna hit the man overboard button as we're going. I'm gonna be mapping it out for me on that plotter, so that when I start running the boat, after we set lines out, or somebody else does, they kind of know where the rock is all the time. You gotta know where that structure is. You gotta be pretty toward it. And if it's laying this way, I'm gonna try to fish this way. Troll up it or drift down it, whatever, and come back the same way. Okay, back and forth. I'm not gonna do this much if I can help it. Because what happens is, you come here, you cross the rock real pretty. Oh, that's a pretty place. Well, 30 minutes later, you've made your circle and you get back to it. Okay? All that other time you were out there in no man's land. Away from where you want to be. I'm probably